Cheers. We're here with Sam Morril. Welcome to the Rumors Comedy Cast. This is the first time we've actually kicked it off with a cheers. I think we got to do that more often.
I try to bring some good energy where I go. You know?
That's great energy. That's delicious. What are you drinking?
What am I drinking? I'm drinking Crown.
Crown.
I'm in Canada. I feel like, you know, I should drink what you guys drink.
What are you drinking in the States?
I mix it up a little bit. I do. I drink Bullet a lot because a lot of bars have it now, and I think it's solid. It's Bullet. It's spelled Bulleit. It's pretty good.
Is it?
Got a good bourbon, a good rye.
Yeah.
I drink. I'll do a Manhattan here and there.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun drink. On the rocks, of course. The martini glass for the Manhattan is foolish. You look like a. You look
it's irresponsible.
It's not only irresponsible. It's like it's just not. Manhattan drinkers aren't meant to be holding this. You know, it's not right.
No, too many people do that though.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
Yeah.
But anyways, enough about drinking. Even though that's what we want to do right now. Tonight, first time at Rumors. How'd you feel?
I feel like they were pretty stiff, to be honest. You know, I feel like they were. There was a lot of teachers in the crowd, and I think maybe they felt like they couldn't cut loose the way they wanted to.
Yeah, I feel that.
What do you think?
I feel the exact same way. It was just one of those ones where you're like, that should have been way, like ones you know that like just hammer usually, you're like, really?
Well, you know what's interesting? I'm not from here. So when I come here, I haven't been to Canada in a while. So when I come here, and I was in comedy in Canada for a while, so when I come here, I'm thinking, is it here? Or is it just, and then you remember, well, it's Tuesday and it's mostly teachers. So it's like that part of you is like, maybe I'm just not good in Canada, but that's
crazy.
I'll probably be fine.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Yeah, they would definitely, you know what I also hate? I'm also judgmental of sounds that are, you know, that are not voluntary.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like the guy right there, this guy goes, "Oh." And I'm like, that's not a real noise, man. That's not like a noise that people, that's a very purposeful noise.
And he did that like during one of your setups? Or like, was it just like an awkward spot?
In a setup, it goes, "Oh," and I'm like, did that really offend you that much that you had to make like, you had to voice it audibly, that you couldn't have just been like, this joke's not for me. You had to be like, no.
Well, I felt personally that they had a sense of entitlement about them maybe a little bit. I saw someone walk on the stage.
Yeah, that was a little weird, right? This girl, that was like a weird thing where like, this girl went to the bathroom, just walked on the stage passing. I was like, oh yeah, make yourself at home, you know? There was a sense of entitlement for sure. They didn't feel like comedy fans. They felt like they were like, this is cheap probably tonight because it's Tuesday. So they're like, we'll go do something on a Tuesday that's not gonna break the bank. And then they told me on the way out, they were like, this only cost us $2. And I was like, cool, thanks.
Okay,
thanks for telling me. Also, I saw that lady on the way out. They always think they're like trying to, I can't tell if they're trying to ball bust me or if they're genuinely this clueless where the woman said the second half was good. And I'm like, you couldn't have just said you liked me? Well, why? The second half, she was like,
no, I feel like that's a Winnipeg thing. I feel like it's just like, I'm just going to be honest with you, and I feel like you're going to like that more.
You got to break it down into sectors?
Yeah. First quarter, didn't like it, but it got better. Like,
it's almost like it's sports analysis, like Steph Curry. You were off in the first quarter, but in the second quarter you heat up. Yeah, it's kind of, maybe I shouldn't be offended. Maybe she's right.
I think she's right. But that stage incident is funny because I've seen that before here. I don't know if it's, but it's just weird. I get thrown off personally, even as like a comic watching it, because I'm just like, oh, like you don't do that.
Yeah, that's not really how people should behave.
No, or even like a foot on the stage. I'm just like, no.
I mean, maybe it's that I'm trained with comedy club audiences, though, and I think of the ones I like, but I just see that and I'm like, oh, I would never do that. It's just weird to me, but.
Well, what's it? Because you're based obviously in New York. What's it? What's the scene like there?
I love it. You get up a bunch of times. I haven't been there in a while. I mean, it's like the longest I haven't been there. And I mean, I was there for like 2 days, but I was not really. I was working the whole time I was there, so I felt like I haven't been there in weeks. It's weird, but I've just been on the road a lot.
But you grew up in New York?
In New York City, yeah.
So that must be crazy. It was like a comic growing up in New York, like you're there where everyone wants to already go. Is that kind of?
Yeah, I guess I don't want to say I took it for granted, but maybe I didn't realize how lucky I was at that age, because it's hard. It's all you know. It's hard to be like, well, this is it. But I went to see some great comics at a pretty young age, and it definitely it was pretty big for me. It was pretty influential to see some of these. Saw Bill Burr very young, saw David Tell very young, Patton Oswalt.
That's sweet.
So it was pretty cool for sure.
Kind of formative a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah. What's your favorite like room in New York? Is there a room that's just fucking
The
crazy.
Comedy Cellar is my favorite.
Yeah.
It's home.
It's your home rink or home court.
I feel good there.
Diamond.
I feel like the second I walk in, the staff shits on me. Like they know to tease me. They know how to make fun of me.
Yeah.
The second I walk in, Val or Alicia or Steve, so all the managers there, one of them will say, "You've changed." You know, the second I walk in,
just to touch that spot, you're like, really?
just to try to attack me. I like it. It makes me feel, when someone attacks me that in a subtle kind of fun way, I really like it.
You respect
Especially
them
when it's
more.
someone I know well. It feels good.
They're like, okay,
feels like,
you get it.
It feels it feels nice, and the room is so good there, and it's you can have some surreal experiences. Where I remember one night it was like Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, and then they're like, "Sam, and you're up now," and I'm like, "Holy crap! You got to soak that in, right?"
So you followed them.
Yeah, and you're playing with house money at that point because the crowd just saw two icons, so it's kind of like whatever I say is gonna be fine. They're just in a good mood.
Yeah.
You know?
So you just went up, crushed.
Yeah, and also those guys are working out, so you kind of expect. I would do some newer stuff there, but I shoot to kill at the Cellar.
Well, yeah,
for the most part, you kind of have to.
Yeah, well, that's sweet. What are your plans? Winnipeg, you got here yesterday night.
Yeah.
And so far, you've purchased some DVDs.
I bought 6 DVDs at the store.
Can you tell me that was at Grand Park Mall, right? Like in the mall across?
Yeah.
And it was like
and the
that
guy was
weird...
really friendly. I befriended the cashier, who I guess owned I guess he wasn't a cashier, he owned the place. That sounded condescending. But we talked for a while. We talked movies for a while, and then I told him to come by this weekend. He said he knew Tyler, so he would come by.
he would know Tyler.
Everyone knows each other here. It's kind of weird. You guys all... I feel like, Winnipeg's a fairly big place, but I feel like I'm like, Steve? And the guy's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, like Steve. Everybody knows. Honestly, that's the way it is here. Like any given night in a crowd here, I'll know like 2 to 3 people.
That's not crazy.
Just by, and like, because we're like, what? We're like
I hate
almost
that.
a million.
I like New York.
I hate it too.
Because New York, I can like reinvent myself.
Yeah, you can be someone different every night.
I'm like, this week I'm going to be a baseball cap guy.
Yeah.
No one can call me on it. They don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, friends can, but no one else. I like that. I like that freedom.
So what movies did you get?
I got Fargo, Sideways, great script. Something About Mary always makes me laugh.
Yeah, that's...
Cannot laugh at that movie.
You cannot.
South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Yeah.
It's
iconic.
Unreal.
It's iconic.
Unreal. I mean, it changed my life, that movie. I saw it probably... My parents wouldn't let me see it when it came out, and I ended up sneaking into it and then buying it behind their back and watching it probably 7 times in a row.
Oh, my God.
I loved it. It was so vulgar and hilarious.
It's crazy to think how long South Park has been going on.
And they're still great. Like, it's insane.
I remember watching on a ski trip in grade 7 on VHS, and it was like the first cow episode thing, and I was like, this is the fucking best.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. My grandparents bought me South Park dolls once. They got me like stuffed animals at South Park. They're like, they're so cute. And I'm like, oh, if you poor people only knew what they say.
Yeah.
You have no idea. But they do look cute. They're like cute little. That's part of the genius is you can have these cute little kids saying horrible things, and you get, I can't say that, but these adorable kids can say it. Yeah, I got that, and I got LA Confidential. I love a little noir action.
I've never seen that.
Oh, it's the best, dude.
See, I'm missing a lot of movies in my life. I really am.
I'm a big noir guy.
Yeah.
I think noir and stand-up, there's a lot of parallels, like kind of a detective and a comic. You both have a lot of isolation, a lot of time in your head, a lot of a decent amount of traveling in both.
That scares the shit out of me.
A lot of hot dames.
Yeah. A lot of
Not
wondering.
for me. I'm seeing someone, but I'm fantasizing. And then there's a lot. There's a rhythm to noir that's similar to stand-up.
Yeah.
Like stand-up, there's like a language. Like I quote this a lot, but I love Raymond Chandler, who writes a lot of those, like Big Sleep, Long Goodbye, Lady in the Lake. All those. There's lines that I love. He's the one who is like, he'll say the character's talking to him. He goes, "It was a nice walk if you like grunting." I love that. That's like poetic to me. And then there's one in a movie, Murder My Sweet, which is there's a line I love too where he says, the woman says, "I find myself very attracted to men," and he goes, "I imagine they meet you halfway."
It's like,
isn't that? It's like musical. I love it. So great.
But
comedy is a rhythm too, right?
Any of the things you just talked about. Like, what am I doing in my life?
Well,
am I missing like that chunk?
Well, that's part of why I bought all those movies. This guy finished a book on the plane because my flight got delayed 5 hours. So I was like, well,
Where were you
this
waiting?
is my book for the week. I was in Peoria, Illinois, the city of romance. And
Peoria. I couldn't point that out on a
one
map.
of the worst airports I've ever been to in my life. There's nothing to do. There's one food place, and here's an interesting thing. I never it's a weird. I realized I call myself profiling at an airport, but not like in a racial way. There's a fat guy in front of me, and there's only one egg white sandwich left, and I really wanted the egg white sandwich, and I was like, I don't think he's gonna get it. That was the first time
you thought.
I didn't get it, but it was like that was the first time I really call myself profiling at an airport, and I got the egg white sandwich. But that was all I had to eat for like hours. It was brutal, because they didn't have anything else.
So what book did you read when you were waiting?
It was called. It was like a book of short stories by Paul Auster. And they're very like dark noir stuff, but they're fucking great. Am I allowed to curse in this?
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah, one was called City of Glass. I loved it, and one was called Ghost. It's really cool stuff, man. And I finished that. I had a few drinks on the flight because I was like, what am I going to do?
What the fuck else are you going to do?
And they comped them. They should have. United. I called you out on Twitter, and you answered. I appreciate it.
How many drinks do you get comped when for a call out? Like, do you rank your Twitter rages by like how much comping you get from the airline?
I don't know. I feel like I don't have much clout on Twitter. I feel like
what are you like 10,000? I scoped it out. That's not bad.
Yeah, but it's not enough to really scare them. Like,
no.
I need to get some bigger numbers. That's like part of the reason I want fame. Is not for the money or the women. I want to scare United Airlines. I want to make demands that they have to. But they're the worst. These airlines. I have a lot of material about hating airlines. They infuriate me. They don't care about the customer. These seats are made for. Who are these seats made for? They're made for They're made for people with scoliosis, with scoliosis and legs that are a foot long.
Well, that's all the room you need. That's all the room they have.
No, it's not true. They're taking advantage of us.
Have you flown like WestJet or Canada before?
I haven't.
Okay. Well,
are they better?
Well, I mean, WestJet are in Canada. Like WestJet is like the fun airline. That's good.
So it's like the JetBlue of Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I guess you say Air Canada is just terrible. People always say that, but we only have 2 airlines.
Which is terrible.
That's it.
I mean, and they used to only have one.
Yeah. Well,
so when you only have one, we're at the mercy of airlines in the States. You're really you have one airline. It's like they could do whatever they want.
Yeah, because you have to use them.
They used to give you snacks. They still get. I mean, they used to give you free food.
We get like little snacks.
I got salmonella from one of their snacks.
No way.
I did. Midway
What
Airline.
was it?
They're no longer allowed. They gave me chicken, and this is when they gave you the snacks, and you're excited to get it. Back in the day, you're like, all right, I'll have the chicken. This is very nice. Salmonella on the toilet for 2.5 weeks. You're basically in a sleeping bag by the toilet because it's just coming out of you full steam ahead.
Oh, God.
It's brutal. It was the worst. Worms.
Oh, no.
It was a bad experience.
So that's why you don't eat on planes anymore. You just drink.
Well, I drink. I have nuts. I keep it safe.
Yeah.
You got to get nuts, maybe some potato chips, but you can't have chicken. They don't even do that in airlines. I guess maybe if you're in first class, they do.
Yeah. Well, I did a few flights when I went to Thailand this summer, and we went overseas. Like, there's crazy stuff.
You went to Thailand?
Yeah. Yeah.
I totally just judged you.
Did you? I went. Okay, let me go back. I went. It was me and my girlfriend. I knew exactly.
He left out my girlfriend.
Yeah. See, I
just pictured him getting on a plane alone and being like, "I'm going to Thailand." I'm like, all right.
I'm going to find myself in Thailand. And then you're just like, fuck, okay, go to Cambodia.
I just picture you and like some other dude that looks like you on like a sex tour, showing up with like an AK-47, like, get that.
No, I went with my girlfriend because she had like taught there before, so we like did the whole trip.
That's completely the opposite.
Yeah,
I feel terrible.
No, that's okay. The option 1 sounds fantastic though, but but no, the food we got was crazy because it was like. So I forget what it was. On one China flight we had, it was just like an egg and just this weird rice, and like you don't know what it is.
Bibimbap or whatever they call it. Isn't that what they call it?
Bibimbap.
It's something like that. I'm mispronouncing it because I'm a Philistine, but Yeah. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, that's hilarious that they would have something like that in an airplane. Sometimes you go to other places and you realize that we just eat. Like, can you imagine what other countries think of us? Like American cheese. I eat that all the time, and people are just like, I bet France looks at us like, ugh.
I gotta ask. So what's the difference between American cheese and like what is that? Is that just normal cheese?
Wow, I didn't think we'd have to tackle this.
We do, because we just have like marble or just like... Marble cheese. Oh, we got cheddar. We got mild.
Okay, well, cheddar we have.
Is that American cheese? Like
is marble American? I don't know. This is Tyler, bad. Do you know this?
Gotta defer.
All right, I'm going to look it up because American cheese is, I don't know it any other way but American cheese. It's crappy cheese. It sticks to the top of your roof of your mouth. It's low quality. I don't know if it's real, but it's real good.
Is it like a square? Is it like a Kraft single?
Yeah, it is like a Kraft single.
Okay, there we go. That's American cheese, which is not real.
That was like learning to speak another language just there. Did you see that? That was amazing.
That was like tonight when one of the teachers said they taught grade 4. I thought you were going to be like, oh, you mean 4th grade.
And what did I say?
You didn't say that. But that's because in the States, you guys always say 4th grade or 5th grade.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember someone, I think
a lot of teachers tonight.
Oh, yeah, I know. Sorry to bring it back.
No, you know what? Here's the thing. Is like we connected in them in some ways. We had some good moments, but they really, I don't know. You expect teachers to cut loose a little harder.
Well, there's one teacher over here who crushed like a ball of wine to herself, and she was...
Yeah.
But do you want that? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess like a lot of them worked with like little kids. They can't get too wasted.
Yeah, they gotta be up to work.
That's what I picture.
But we were coming off a long weekend too, though. Like we had yesterday off.
That's right.
So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but yeah, it was.
Well, why do you have yesterday off?
Well, yes, okay, not to get, and again, this is like another bigger thing, but it's essentially, it was this thing called Louie Riel Day, which is like a guy, an Aboriginal guy who's here, kind of formed our province kind of thing, but it was just a day off in February because everyone gets depressed in February.
That's great that we made it.
Cold.
We had President's Day. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
We had that off yesterday too. But yeah, I spent it in an airport the whole day. I was miserable.
In Peoria.
Peoria is it's an odd place, man. It's where Richard Pryor's from.
Really?
Yeah, I went to the Richard Pryor statue. I'll show you a picture after this. It's kind of cool. But yeah,
There's a statue.
There's a big statue.
Where?
There's bronze in Peoria.
Like is it like in a square? Is it
there's like a Richard Pryor way, but they're racist here, so they give him like a tiny little way. It's not even like a full way. It's like a 3-block stream. They won't even give him like a full thing. It's like he's only like one of the best ever, and they were just like, but we're racist and he did drugs and stuff. So they're like, eh. So they give him like a tiny little thing.
You can have this strip.
Yeah, he's you know, and they wouldn't raise the money because I guess it costs a lot to bronze a statue. It costs like $100,000.
Oh my God!
So like all these comics went out there, like Cedric the Entertainer and like Mike Epps and like 5 other comics went out there and did like a big show, and you know, and apparently they all blew the light, which is hilarious. They all did like 45. It's like 6 comics doing 45, and they're like, we shouldn't book all these guys together next time. But yeah, they raised the money, which is kind of cool.
That's kind of cool, but that's weak sauce. They didn't pay for it to be bronzed.
It's pretty cool. It's and it looks all right. Like there's a famous statue of Lucille Ball, upstate New York, and the statue is horrendous. I don't know if they replaced it, but it's the ugliest statue ever. It looks nothing like her. She looks like a devil. It's not flattering at all.
Nailed it.
But it's it's upstate New York, Jamestown.
I have no idea where that is. Are you close to that? Like where you live?
It's got to be like 6-hour drive for me. It's pretty far.
Is Soho in New York?
Soho's downtown.
Okay, that's all I know.
Well, Soho used to be not so nice, but it's really like a swanky area now. Soho, a great movie to check out. I'm giving you all this homework. I feel guilty now.
No, this is good. I need some learning here.
After Hours, a Scorsese movie, takes place in Soho, the whole movie, and it's a great look back at Soho. It's have you seen it? Oh, it's great. It's like an all-night adventure. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
It's a really great flick. So that's a good one. There's a lot of, I don't know. I feel annoying now. I feel like I'm giving homework. I feel guilty.
This is good.
I'm like, here's another thing to check out. You're like, I just wanted to like have a drink.
So you get it.
I don't know.
Well, okay, so obviously, as you are American, I like to talk about American politics just briefly.
Sure.
But did you see the Jeb, if you're watching this late, you probably heard about this, the Jeb Bush tweet today, which was just
a gun.
And just said America.
Well, he's grasping at straws now.
What kind of move is that?
You know what I think it is? I saw that. I think it's like Trump has made him look so weak that I think he thinks, or maybe his campaign managers think, that that's like a symbol of strength. Does that make sense?
It makes sense because like you post a picture of a handgun with your name on it.
Yeah, it's like he's like I'm still one of you guys. I'm still like a bad guy. I'm still like a tough guy. But Trump is like, what else can Trump do to this guy to just shame him? Like, I mean, Trump is just like, I've never seen a guy look more emasculated in my life. I mean, it basically started with Jeb Bush, and everyone's like, well, I guess Jeb Bush is going to get the nomination. Like, that's how everyone looked at it. And I've never seen a guy just like he looks like Helen Mirren. He came into the gate looking like, and she's a beautiful woman, but Jeb Bush did not look like her, you know?
No.
And Jeb Bush came out of the gate looking like, oh, this could be our next president, maybe. And then Trump was just like, oh, it's enough. And he was like, I've never been spoken to this way. My father is a very wealthy man. He was very influential, and I think he's like probably went to all the best boarding schools. He's like never really dealt with someone talking to him this way.
He's never had a bully push him around. Exactly. So now he's like, here's my gun. I might come shoot you.
It's really sad. It's really sad that that's where he went. But it's like, I mean, I think he's desperate.
Yeah.
Because like we never thought this guy would be behind Marco Rubio. Yeah. You know, we never thought he'd be behind Ted Cruz. I mean, Ted Cruz is like an embarrassment, you know? I mean, the Republican nominees are as bad as it gets, man.
It's just weird.
This is the worst I've seen in my lifetime. Like, they're making Mitt Romney look likable, which is very difficult. Mitt Romney's a piece of human garbage, I think. I think he's like...
In case you didn't know.
I dated a girl whose mom dated him back in the day.
What?
And she told me stories. She was like, oh, my God, he was a terrible person. And I can see it. Like...
Look at Mitt.
His name's Mitt.
That's the first problem.
And then, like, you get, like, guys who just get rich by, like, liquidating companies and just laying people off. And they're like, this is who I want to vote for to run my country. And you're like, he's nothing like you. Why do you? I don't know. I found Mitt Romney to be so unlikable, aside from his beliefs. But, you know. But then also, there are people who are saying they're going to move if a Republican gets elected. I'm not going to move. I'm just going to be angry. Trump, what bothers me about Trump is that it's going to be bad for comedy. People were like, it's great for comedy. I'm like, really? Are you not sick of that fucking impression already?
Yeah.
I've had it with the Trump impression already, man. I'm already tired of it. I think Bernie Sanders' impression's got more legs. There's more dimensions to it. You can do like a Woody Allen thing. You can do, you know,
you can take it
a Larry
different
David
ways.
thing.
Yeah. Well, that Larry David stuff on SNL is pretty good.
I don't like when they give, yeah, that was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I don't know.
You're right. It's one-dimensional. It's like the Bush stuff. It's just like...
Personally, I like Bernie Sanders, but he doesn't have a shot in hell, I don't think. And people keep saying it, but like, yeah, I really think... Unfortunately, I'm like, I really think we need Hillary to beat the Republicans. But then I'm like, well, she loses, man. I don't know. I think we're in trouble. This is the first election I'm like genuinely worried.
Yeah.
I wasn't that worried about Romney. I'm worried because I'm just like...
When is this election anyways? Like 2018?
It's coming up. No, it's coming up.
Like in September or something,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's coming up.
See, because, you guys have a huge, long thing. We have, like, 3 months, and it's like, okay, time to vote.
Yeah. What do you think about your guy, Trudeau?
Oh, he's the best.
You like him?
I like him.
Really?
Yeah, he's great.
Why is that?
I don't know. I feel like he's just honest and kind of normal.
Yeah. He's got big shoes to fill, I guess, right?
Oh, well, I mean, like his dad's shoes, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your past guy.
Yeah, he's got big shoes to fill. He'll do it. Someone's already kept track. There's a website. It's like Trudeau Promises, and you can see all the promises he's made and how far he is along on keeping them up. And I'm like, that's pretty ridiculous.
He's young. How young is he?
He's in his 40s.
Oh, okay.
He looks a lot younger.
He
looks well.
Yeah, he's a handsome guy.
Oh,
he's charming.
Yeah.
Not as bright as his dad.
Yeah, he just kind of talks his way, and
yeah,
he did the whole Obama
thing. Half of it. That's being a politician.
Exactly.
You got people to make the decisions. Just don't make an ass of yourself and look good.
Don't do anything.
I mean, whoever gets elected in America after Obama is going to be such a disappointment, you know? Because Obama's. I mean, I never thought I'd ever see a president in my life, and this is politics aside, but I never thought I'd see a president in my life shoot a three-pointer and just drain it confidently. Like, that's insane to me. It's so cool. Like, he can talk. I've heard him on podcasts talk about hoops. I've heard him on podcasts talk about like The Wire. And I know that's not mandatory for a president, but it makes him human to me.
Exactly.
It makes him a person.
Yeah.
It's the first politician that I'm just like, oh, this is like a real guy. You know? I don't know. And like Hillary, there's not an authentic bone in her body. I like her over the Republicans, but that doesn't mean I like her. I I respect a lot of things about her, but I don't. When she's talking to me, I'm not like, this is the real person.
Yeah.
And like Bernie is very authentic. I feel like Bernie's very authentic, but does he have a shot in hell? He's 74, and he's not like a Joe Biden.
74?
Yeah, and he's not like a Joe Biden 74. He looks older.
Yeah, he's
74. That means, you know, when he's out after all this, I think he'll be like 83, 84. So if he got 2 terms, I mean that's old for a president. And he always is talking about his cross country experience, but I'm like, dude, you're like, I don't see it. I don't know. Like,
yeah, nay.
I here's the thing. I as a dude, I like him the best by far.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna work. I have doubts, man. I'm cynical about the whole thing, and I'm nervous, and the adult in me is like vote Hillary.
Yeah.
And push for Hillary, but the kid in me is like, Bernie's the man.
Just do Bernie. Well, who knows? You get to actually vote for a person, though. We have to vote for someone else.
I love that
who represents us.
I love how I do a lot of Fox News shows, so I love how.
Yeah, what is that? Sorry to interrupt. What is Fox Red Eye? I saw that. I was
fun.
like, what kind of show is this?
It's on late at night, and my friend Joe Mack and I just tear each other apart on it. It's just fun. They let us just be funny on it. They let us just, like, we don't have to come on with an agenda. That's what I'll give Fox News over, like, I've never been invited on MSNBC or CNN or Al Jazeera even. I would love to. I love Al Jazeera. But, you know, Fox News kind of lets comics come on. And most comics are pretty liberal, so it's kind of cool. And my angle on that show is always to be funny. It's not about, like, it's not about
your agenda, or it's not a political agenda. It's just be funny.
Be funny. I'm not going to act like I know as much as the people who are coming on, so why would I even try to have a political discussion? I feel like I'm not. I have other interests in my life. Like, I write jokes. I do other things. You know, like, you understand. I mean, so these people have given their life to politics and being informed and covering every story. I'm not going to go on there and act like I can go head to head with them, but I can out-funny those guys. So that's kind of what I'm there for.
Yeah.
And they're great on it to let us kind of just do whatever. I mean, I've said stuff that I cannot believe they kept on the show.
Like, what would you, like?
I'm trying to think of a good example. Okay, this is an offensive one, but it's not even that funny, but I was shocked they kept it. Jonah Hill got in a lot of trouble for saying the word faggot.
Yeah.
I mean, he got torn apart, and they were really, there was a story. They were like, "What? I mean, what's he gonna do?" And I was like, in Hollywood, I think the only thing he could have said that was worse would be. And I couldn't believe they kept it on. I was like, I mean, that was like a half throwaway, and they like bleeped it, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Sure.
I was blown. It's on at 3 a.m., so it's kind of like a fun place to just do that.
Yeah, you can just talk, and I mean,
no
there's
one's watching.
Yeah, well, there's no repercussions, and like you end up with some clips from it. Obviously,
there have been lines like that where I'm like, I can't believe it was like a line that I don't know.
You like half believe in it, and you just deliver it like you actually believe in it, and you're like, hey, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, but there have been moments where they'll let us do weird graphics of me making fun of my friends and stuff. It's just fun. It's just a fun.
So, like, you'll pull a picture of one of your friends and you'll just rip into them?
Yeah, like it'll be like my friend Joe Mackey's face on like a baby's body, and I'll be like, this guy's soft, or, you know, just stupid humor. But they let us do whatever we want. Or it'll be like a shark attack story, and it'll be Joe and I drinking beers with a shark behind us. It's fun. I mean, it's silliness.
It's fun.
But they let us kind of get away with whatever we want. I love it. So yeah, it's a fun show to do, and I do it a lot.
Yeah.
I do it a decent amount.
Well, it's good then if you get people notice you.
Occasionally people will come out on the road from it, which is fun. Like, it's got a weird cult following. I mean, if you're up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, you're pretty weird.
And something's wrong with you. So, although it's a fun kind of wind down for bed show, because it's just news stories and just people being silly about them. It's fun.
Nice. Well,
yeah.
That's a lot of political stuff, and we just went right into Fox News. I like how that all segued and worked together. Because here in Canada, we just think Fox News is the worst.
Yeah.
Because all we see are like these clips like right-wing, blah, 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 Fox News.
Yeah, I don't watch it. I just...
I just use it for my personal benefit.
Yeah, I don't really watch much cable news. I like Al Jazeera, but that's shutting down in America. That was the one I watched. But,
why is it shutting down?
Probably doesn't make any money. I don't know.
I guess so. I guess people wouldn't. I don't know.
I loved it. That's what I watch a lot. And
you ever watch? Have you watched any CBC since you got here?
I haven't. Should I be watching it?
Dig into that.
I watched some Vancouver Housewives. I was curious. I'm like, I didn't know you guys had that.
You got to watch the Hockey Housewives show. That's a good one.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's
You know what's
fucking good.
hilarious is that like they're so self-congratulatory. These idiots. I mean, like I'm so proud that I don't know if proud is the right word, 'cause you can't really control what you're attracted to, but I'm so happy that I'm attracted to women with ambition who are smart, and not these women who. This woman was just like, I can't believe I finally got my own wine label. And I'm like, you can't believe that? You're rich. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
You can do whatever you want.
Who gives a shit? But it was like, that was an episode. And also they like, it's all obviously manufactured drama, but I was like, I never seen it. So I was I was watching it earlier. I was like, I'm curious. And there was all this person was mean to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's how you're spending your life. Yeah, people suck. Like, who gives? Like, that's a whole episode.
That's
who
Vancouver.
gives a shit?
That's Vancouver. That's not Winnipeg.
Vancouver's a beautiful city. I love Vancouver.
Beautiful city, people terrible.
Are they?
Yeah, it's just a different vibe. It's just, I mean, some people in Vancouver are cool. Like, it depends where you go.
They call it Vancouver, I heard.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Because of all the hot Asian chicks.
That's
in Vancouver.
pretty accurate.
Is that true? Yeah, you give me the thumbs up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good air in Vancouver. Expensive.
It's just full of weed.
Yeah, we get weed there. So you're not a Vancouver fan?
Well, I don't mind it. I dated a girl who was like kind of from around there. Yeah. I've been there like, I don't know, a bunch of times. I like it. I mean, it's nice. It's beautiful. It's just a different vibe than here. You're like here, the people are just different.
In a good way?
Yeah. Well, don't base it on tonight's show though.
Oh yeah, they were stiff.
Yeah, things were different. But if you were here and you're watching this,
they were soft.
You're a true fan. But it's gonna get better.
You were pussies tonight, Winnipeg. Step it up.
They will step it up all week. Sam Morril, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
That was awesome. And yeah, you're here till Saturday the 20th. So
I'm excited.
Come check it out. Let's get some more drinks.